So My Hero Academia has a lot of interesting characters, right? But not all of them are in the My Hero 1 Justice series. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing another episode of the How They Can Work series. In this series, we look at characters that are not in My Hero 1 Justice 2, and we try to break them down to create movesets for them, so hopefully one day they will become a playable character. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the pro hero Edgeshot. So I think Edgeshot would be a really cool character to play as, because, I mean, he is the ninja hero. Like, that'd be so much fun to play as, like, a ninja in My Hero 1 Justice 2. Like, he'd be really fast, like, I just think he'd be really cool because of how fast he would be. Now, they'd probably have to balance it out a bit because he'd probably be really quick. So a way they could probably do that is make him do less damage, but he makes up for it in speed. So I don't know. I mean, that's just an idea. I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but yeah, the plan is we're going to make a moveset for Edgeshot today, so let's get into it. So in the My Hero 1's Justice series, each character usually has a normal attack, a red attack or an unblockable, a yellow attack or an armor attack, and they also have a quirk 1, a side quirk 1, a quirk 2, and a side quirk 2, and they also have a plus ultra level 1, 2, and 3. But in this series, we don't look at the normal attack because it's usually just the same punch or kick, and we don't look at the plus ultra level 3 because it's just 3 plus ultra level 1s combined into one big attack. So we only look at the unique things in this series. So yeah, that's how the series works. So let's just dive into this moveset. So Edgeshot's quirk is called Fold a Body. The way it works is it basically allows him to kind of like make his body paper thin, and he can make them into like little ribbons, and he can like extend them out, and basically like with the ribbons he can like pierce opponents with them, stun them, he can get through like tight spaces. It basically makes his body paper thin, and I think that's a really cool quirk for like the ninja hero, because especially when you're being like a ninja, you want to be like sneaky, and making yourself paper thin is very sneaky. So yeah, I think it's a really cool quirk, and we're going to design a moveset around it. So starting off with this quirk 1, I have it labeled Rapid Paper Cuts. This is where he would slide to the right doing like a dodge. It basically kind of be like the dodge mechanic. And as he dodges, he would fold one of his arms to be like paper thin ribbons. And after the slide animation is over, he would quickly strike the opponent by piercing them multiple times with his arm that is the paper thin ribbons. After the animation is over, he would retract the ribbons and return his body back to normal. In the air, he would do the same attack minus the slide. He would just basically fold his arms, or one of his arms, into paper thin ribbons, and he would basically send them at the opponent, striking the opponent multiple times with those ribbons before turning his arm back to normal. So I think this move is pretty cool because on top of the move being a form of rapid jab, which is just good for combos, it also has like a dodge included with it to make him feel faster, like a ninja. You can use this attack to dodge the other opponent's attacks and then strike them from their side. But what makes it balance is after you dodge with this attack, the animation still has to happen. So basically, if you can predict he's going to do it, you can dodge again, which leaves him open because he still has to do like the rapid paper strikes. So you basically can punish him for it. So I think it's pretty cool. It gives him like a dodge that's not like the dodge mechanic, like he has like an extra one. But again, if you can predict it or get out of the way of it, you can punish him. And I also think it's like a really cool rapid jab because it's not like he's turning his like arms into like paper thin ribbons to like slash at the opponent. No, he's like piercing their body. It goes through them and stuff like that. And then he basically will pull the ribbons back out and turn his arm back to normal. And I think that'd be a really cool animation to see. And yeah, that is his quirk 1. Moving on to his side quirk 1, I have it labeled Paper Thin Strike. This is where he would fold his body to be paper thin and he would disappear. Depending on which way you press the analog stick, he will unfold and reappear in the direction you pressed. He will disappear for a couple of seconds before reappearing, and the range of the distance he will travel before reappearing is medium sized. Also, after he reappears, he would do one quick strike. This move is good to kind of like get in close, but it can also be used to kind of like escape or be used as like a retreating kind of like attack. Like if you feel like you need to get out of there, you can use it to retreat. And what makes this move balanced is basically after he reappears, he has to do the strike animation. So if the opponent can predict where he's going to reappear, they can take advantage of that. And basically, you know, he's open, so you can just attack him while he's doing that strike animation. So basically, the way I can best describe this attack is, if you ever played Super Smash Brothers, Greninja has this move, I think it's called Shadow Sneak, where he basically disappears for a couple of seconds and then reappears and attacks the opponent. It'd basically be like that, except obviously, instead of it being a 2D fighter game, it'd be a 3D fighter game. So you can basically use your analog stick to kind of like control where he's going to go. And then once he reappears, he'll do like a quick strike. And again, that's what makes it balanced because he always will do the strike. You can't cancel that. So basically, if the opponent can predict where he's going to reappear at, you would basically be able to punish it. And also, I feel like this move is really cool because, again, it makes him feel like a ninja. He is the pro hero that is based off of like a ninja. He is the ninja hero. So I feel like giving him moves like this makes him feel more like a ninja and also makes him feel like really fast. And I think that's really cool, and that is his side quirk 1. Moving on to his quirk 2, I have it labeled 1000 Sheet Pierce. This is where he would basically quickly fold his entire upper body to be paper thin, and he would then pierce the opponent with his ribbon-like body, having his head reform real fast to look at the opponent from the other side of the piercing, and then he would retract his body and return it back to normal. Once his ribbon-like body is out of the opponent, it would stun the opponent by knocking them out for a couple of seconds. What makes this move balanced is even though the animation at the beginning is really fast, if he misses this move, his lower body and head is still open, and also the animation at the end where his body returns back to normal is not as fast as the beginning animation, so you'd be able to punish him because it leaves him open as well. So basically, he uses his ultimate move that he used against Kurogiri, where he basically kind of like makes himself paper thin and then kind of sticks his head out the side just to make sure that, like, you know, he's all the way through the opponent, and then he pull himself back out. And I just think that'd be really cool to see in the game. Not to mention, it gives him one of his ultimate moves from the series, and I think it'd be really cool to see. But yeah, that is his quirk 2. Yeah. Moving on to his side quirk 2, I have it labeled Spinning Paper Cut. This is where he would quickly fold his body to be paper thin, and he would jump. While he is jumping, he would spin, which would cause his paper thin ribbons to stretch out from his body as his body starts to go back to normal. Once the jump is over, his body will be back to normal and he will be in the air. So basically on the ground, it's kind of like a jump, and as he's like jumping, he's basically kind of like stretching his body back out to be, you know, normal, and he has like thin ribbons kind of like protecting him as he's like returning his body back to normal, because when he's on the ground, he starts paper thin, and then by the time he's in the air, he's back to normal. But in the air, it does something different. So in the air, he would fold his legs to be paper thin drills, and then he would kick the opponent downward, piercing them twice, and then he would retract his legs once the animation is over, returning his body back to normal. So I think this move is pretty interesting because on the ground and in the air, it does something different. On the ground, it helps him get into the air, and then in the air, it helps him kind of get back to the ground because he kicks downward. But I think it's pretty cool. This move is pretty good for combos and stuff like that. Like if you want to get like an air combo going from a ground combo, you can use this. If you have an air combo and you're trying to get back to the ground, you can use this move as well. So just overall, I think it's a pretty interesting move, and that's his side quirk 2. Moving on to his red attack, he would basically do kind of like a quick strike, and with his yellow attack, he would just do a kick. I know these moves are pretty basic, but I feel like these would fit him very well, like a quick kind of like ninja strike with his red attack, and then his yellow attack would be like a really fast kick. I think that'd be pretty cool, and I can totally see it working for Edgeshot. Moving on to his level 1, I have it where he would dash through the opponent as he makes his body paper thin, and he would basically pierce them as he dashes through them, and he would unfold his body as he finishes passing through the opponent. This would be an extremely fast level 1, which I think would make sense because he is the ninja hero, and I think it'd be just really cool to see. Like, he basically kind of like just dash through them and like be super fast. Moving on to his level 2, I have it where the animation begins with Edgeshot doing his stance, and then he would fold his body to be paper thin, disappearing off the screen. Then the camera would cut to the opponent, who is now looking around for Edgeshot, and as they're looking around, Edgeshot would reappear behind them, still doing his stance. Then he would strike the opponent multiple times, and as he's striking them, he would disappear and reappear around them using his quirk, attacking them from different angles. Then after he lands a couple of strikes, the camera would then cut to an angle where you can see Edgeshot quickly dash through the opponent using his quirk, which will knock out the opponent, and the animation would end with a close-up of Edgeshot. So I think that'd be really cool because like his level 1, it's really fast, but like he's just like, you know, reappearing and disappearing all over the screen, attacking the opponent, and then it would end off with like a really cool kind of like animation where it's kind of like a side view of just Edgeshot dashing through the opponent, knocking them out. Like, I think that'd be a really cool level 2 to see. Again, it just makes him feel like a ninja because, you know, that's what he is. He's the ninja hero, and I think that'd be really cool just to see, like, animation wise. And yeah, that is the level 2 I have for Edgeshot, and that's my moveset for him. But that is my moveset for the pro hero Edgeshot. Again, I think Edgeshot would be really cool. I think he'd be a really, really fast character, but to like balance that out, he'd be kind of like not that great in the damage department, but he would make up for it in the speed department. And I just think he'd be really cool attacking the opponent with different strikes and like piercing the opponent with his quirk, because again, in the series we've seen him do that, and we also know that there are piercing moves in One Justice 2 with like All for One and stuff. So I think that'd be really cool to see with his moveset. And yeah, that is my moveset for Edgeshot. If you guys would like to see a specific character in the series, let me know down in the comments below. I'd be happy to try to create a moveset for that character. And if you guys did enjoy, please like and subscribe. That would be amazing. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Later.